The James Show Podcast.
One of the reasons I'm interested in this study showing that you can reduce peanut allergies by 80% with early exposure into kids is you would think that this is not a political topic at all. We're talking about little kids dying from anaphylactic shock. We're talking about, the difference when you and I went to school, peanuts weren't even mentioned. Now, when my kids go to school, they can't take anything with peanuts in it. If they're bringing like cupcakes or whatever, or cookies, you can't have peanuts in it. I don't think they're ever passing out peanut butter sandwiches or peanut butter crackers or whatever. But your schools, the public schools here in Texas, they have just been wiped of any semblance of anything a peanut. They won't even let a Mr. Peanut come visit. That's how bad it is. And to think that this could all be easily reversed through therapy now or through early exposure in childhood, that's one big thing that we should all agree on, and it shouldn't be political. But then the other guidance we got from Dr. Matt Chalmers in the last segment was part of the reason we do have such an inflammation, pun intended, of allergies is the toxins that we get from processed foods and some of our medicines, including vaccines. And then once you say that word, there's a lot of people who their eyes just glaze over and they turn into political zombies, and there's the brains. And now they already picked their side because you said the big V word. And so now it is political, and that's quite disappointing. 800-288-9227. This is Cleo in Plano. Hey, Cleo, you're a nurse, so I know you have strong opinions about this.
I'm IBCLC. I do have strong opinions about it. One thing he forgot to mention is breastfeeding. That is the first thing that desensitizes your gut.
Says the lactation consultant. Yes, let's not forget to breastfeed.
Not a lie. You get a small taste of everything the mother eats in the breast milk. So when you tell moms to take food out, that's a hazard. And when a baby has a small sensitivity or something just like mild colic, a lot of pediatricians used to for years, they don't do it anymore, take them off and put them on hypoallergenic formulas so they got no exposure to anything. Not just I guess you could say, cow's proteins that they felt may have been slipping through the mom's milk or whatever was slipping through the milk that was irritating the child.
So do you know
it greatly exacerbated it.
You might know some of these numbers off the top of your head. For kids that are breastfed, how much more likely are they to not have allergies or other issues?
It's something like 86%. It's very small.
Okay.
But it depends. It depends. If you combination feed, that's where you get that 14%, and combination feeding is becoming more popular in our culture. Combination feeding is when moms use formula at night so they can sleep through the night, or formula during the day because they feel their infant may not be hitting their growth stones or milestones, or sometimes they do it just to get their babies to sleep more. A lot of people use formula the way they used to use Benadryl. If you overfeed enough of it, they're just dead to the world all day.
Nah. Well, what do you think about that?
What I think about overfeeding formula?
No. Combo feeding. Combo.
Sometimes combo feeding is necessary. Some moms, because they just couldn't help it because of birth interventions or true low milk supply, they need it, and that's better than just formula feeding. And when you say that, that's a really hot political topic because a lot of women never choose to breastfeed, and they say, well, that's my right. But I'm like, but you're giving your child a processed food, just the way this doctor was talking about, that sensitizes their gut for the rest of their life. They even have a smaller thymus gland.
And you mean sensitized in a bad way?
Yes, desensitized in a bad way. More prone to diarrhea, inflammation, ear infections, all sorts of viruses, because they kind of have a leaky, compromised gut their entire life.
Ew. So the other thing that a lot of people are concerned about, as far as breast milk goes, is there any reactions or effects on the husband?
No, and there are people that do that. I have yet to see that happen. They use it in their coffee and all sorts of stuff. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I mean...
and yes, they do use it at the tap, and I have not seen that happen, no. All
right, well, we have to end this segment now. This is getting a little hot. Thank you very much. That's Cleo up in Plano, our lactation consultant. Because how much do we talk about breastfeeding on this show? It needs to be more, damn it. I'm a huge fan. It's good for the kids. All right, coming up on the James Show, this is going to be mind-blowing. If we had a media that wasn't just demonic in their soul, this is something that would be played on a loop on a loop for the next 6 months. In fact, if someone said this about Obama or someone said this about Biden, you would be hearing it right now. You would be hearing it when you got into an elevator. It would just be the background music that plays. It is such an amazing and also damning piece of audio. You cannot miss it. It's the first interview I saw with one of the released hostages. He just said this on Monday. I found it yesterday, and I'm bringing it to you next on the James Show. Wait till you hear what this guy said about President Trump. 800-288-9227, 800-288-9227. Also, this is your friendly reminder. I'm going to be doing the James Show live at the Texas State Fair for tomorrow and Friday. So I'll be out there from 2 to 5 live. Where Big Tex is, he has the one hand up and his left hand's pointing out. His left hand is going to be pointing almost directly where I'm sitting. So when you come in the front door, you see Big Tex, you'll go to the right. I'll be right outside the old mill. So come by, say hi. Man, I found this yesterday and I immediately recorded it because I know you would love to hear this. The guy's name is Omer Shem Tov. For the last 2 years, he's been in captivity in the Gaza Strip as a prisoner of Hamas following the October 7th raid. He did an interview, and he did it Monday evening, so he must have gotten turned over Monday morning, went and showered, shaved, got a haircut, got some new clothes, probably had an interview with the Mossad or the Israeli authorities, and then he sat down with some lady, I don't know, media figures in Israel. But in one part of this interview, I had to clip this out and share it with you. This is Omer Shem Tov. Listen to what he had to say about Trump.
Yes, it's him. He got me out. He got the hostages out. Before, we felt like nothing is happening, And I remember ever since he came into the road, they were very scared of him. Yeah, they wanted...
Who?
The terrorists.
We're afraid of Trump.
Yeah, they wanted Kamala to be chosen, to be elected.
You talked politics with them?
Yeah. They wanted Kamala to be elected. But as soon as Donald Trump was elected, they understood that he wants to bring the hostages back home. Yeah. So immediately the way they treated me changed. So if it's the amount of food, I could say this, that when Trump became president, yeah, the way they treated us changed for me personally. This is what I
think
felt.
because they anticipated that a deal would come soon.
Yeah.
And that's when they started giving you more food.
Exactly. More food, treated me better, stopped cursing me, stopped spitting on me.
Wow. There's a whole lot in that small little statement there. But let's just start with some of the lessons that we can learn from that. And if you call in, because I'd love to hear what you glean from that. Because I bet out of 100 people that heard that, we're picking up a bunch of different little nuggets here. I want to start with what freed the hostages. What was it that freed the hostages? He was asked if he gives Trump credit, and he says at the very beginning, yeah, Trump did this. Trump did this. Now, what did Trump actually do? Maybe there's not like a whole lot of actions that were actually done against Hamas and Gaza. They just seen what he's done elsewhere and lived up to those promises. And they thought, well, that's not for us. I want to start by sort of answering the negative of that question. What didn't free the hostages? You know what didn't free the hostages? A bunch of kids camping out on college campuses all over the country for a couple months there. All the protests where they block highways or they block the roads here in downtown Dallas, or they try and block Love Field or they block O'Hare Airport. None of that worked. None of the riots worked. You know what didn't free the hostages? Greta Thunberg's flotilla, where she was trying to bring, I guess, aid. Just moral support. They didn't even have a whole lot of aid on the ship. You know, it didn't free the hostages. John Cusack's Twitter feed, or Mark Ruffalo scolding Team Red America in 18 interviews over the last year. Did you pick up in there that Hamas wanted Kamala Harris to win the election? Congratulations, Team Blue. You're now the preferred party of Hamas. Can y'all stop picking up so many of these bad constituencies? You're also the preferred party of MS-13 at this point. You're the preferred party of the Cuban Communist Revolution under Castro and now his brother or whoever succeeded him. You're the party of the rioters for Black Lives Matter or for Antifa. Pretty much any time a brick's getting thrown through a store window and people are running out with shoes, that's your crew. But now you got Hamas on your side. Good job. Well done. Are you proud of yourself? You're not a little ashamed of that? So what does Hamas respond to? They didn't respond to flags in your bio. They don't respond to protesters. They don't respond to the boycott. So we got to boycott. Stop it. What did they respond to? They respond to a guy that says, if you don't do the right thing, I'm going to bomb the snot out of you. And they've seen him do it enough to know that the bombs are going to be coming soon enough. They saw it happen with Iran. They saw Iran pop off and shoot a bunch of missiles at Israel. Trump warned them not to do it again. They did it again. So what did they get? They got bombed into oblivion. They've shut up ever since then, right? So a lot of us try and project our culture and our thought process on foreign peoples and in instances where it just doesn't work. Some people just respond to brute force. Some people just respond to the strongest horse in the race. They don't respond to feelings. They don't respond to guilt trips. They don't respond to celebrities making videos where they all say in succession that you should do the same thing. What do they respond to? The same basic thing any human responds to. Do you want to live or do you want to die? And that's what it really comes down to. Being in control, having your power, that's up there too. But you should don't put your culture and our way of thinking into their heads. What you need to do is learn what we just heard from this hostage and think, well, if that's how the people in Hamas think, that's probably how the people in Hezbollah think. That's probably how the ISIS rebels in the Syrian countryside think. That's probably how the Ayatollahs who run Iran think. That might be closer to the thought process of a brutal dictator like in North Korea, more so than what you and I think, or what a Donald Trump would think, or what the Prime Minister of Great Britain would think. I think there's a lot of lessons packed into that one little minute of audio, and we need to learn them all. This is Robert in Burleson. You're on WBAP. And Robert in Burleson hung up right as I went to him. I know, I saw it right as I went to him. I turned it up right as he hung up. You never know. But yeah, 800-288-9227, 800-288-9227. Also notice that they weren't scared of Biden. They weren't scared of Biden or Kamala. They wanted Kamala. They weren't going to turn over the hostages under Biden. In fact, they were treating the hostages terrible under Biden. And when Trump got elected, just the mere fact that he got elected, unless this guy's lying through his teeth, which I don't suspect he'd be willing to do at this point after all he's been through, the treatment changed immediately. They got better food. They weren't getting beat anymore. They weren't getting cussed out. That's respect. That's nothing but respect. And maybe it's respect born out of fear, but I don't care how you got there. That's not what the narrative is telling you. The immediate media narrative, whether it's The View or anyone on CNN, they're telling you, oh, the rest of the country thinks Trump's a buffoon. They're laughing at us. They think we're a bunch of clowns because we have this orange man bad in charge of it. It makes America look stupid, and it's so embarrassing. I'm embarrassed to be an American right now. It's just the opposite. You guys couldn't be more wrong. This is what commanding respect looks like. When you have your party that's in charge, when Joe Biden's in charge, and they're not scared of him, and they treat the prisoners poorly, and they're not giving them back, is that more respectful than what they just did to Trump? Of course not. And who could think such a ridiculous thing? So when we have this hostage come out and say this, it's a damn shame that all of America is not going to hear the soundbite. This is why you listen to WBAP, because you're not going to get this in most other outlets. I'm going to play this again. Omar Shem Tov was just in Hamas captivity for the last 2 years, giving all credit to Trump for his release.
Yes, it's him. He got me out. He got the hostages out. Before we felt like nothing is happening, And I remember ever since he came into the road, they were very scared of him. Yeah, they wanted
Who?
The terrorists.
We're afraid of Trump.
Yeah, they wanted Kamala to be chosen, to be elected.
You talked politics with them?
Yeah. They wanted Kamala to be elected. But as soon as Donald Trump was elected, they understood that he wants to bring the hostages back home. Yeah. So immediately the way they treated me changed. So if it's the amount of food, I could say this, that when Trump became president, yeah, the way they treated us changed. For me personally, this is what I
think
felt.
because they anticipated that a deal would come soon.
Yeah.
And that's when they started giving you more food.
Exactly. More food, treated me better, stopped cursing me, stopped spitting on me.
He wasn't freed when the Biden administration and the international community was sending all kinds of humanitarian supplies into Gaza. They're under siege, but we're sneaking them food and medicine and supplies. So what are you, setting up an infinite siege? That didn't work. That system didn't work. The hostages weren't freed when Biden was doing all these benevolent projects on their behalf. Remember when he built a new pier for the boats to deliver aid and dock in Gaza because all the other piers had gotten knocked out and nothing was getting through the Israeli blockade? Did that work? No, it didn't? Oh, it's so weird. Well, what about all the protests they had in their honor? That didn't work either? No? What about the guy that set himself on fire? Remember the Air Force, the airman that self-immolated, screaming free Palestine? That didn't work, huh? I don't know. They made a lot of signs. Are you sure that didn't work? I guess not. So what's your lessons from this little sound clip? 800-288-9227. 800-288-9227. I know I've played it twice. Let me play it one more time for people who are just joining the show. This is Omer Shem Tov.
Yes, it's him. He got me out. He got the hostages out. Before we felt like nothing is happening, And I remember ever since he came into the road, they were very scared of him. Yeah, they wanted
Who?
The terrorists.
We're afraid of Trump.
Yeah, they wanted Kamala to be chosen, to be elected.
You talked politics with them?
Yeah. They wanted Kamala to be elected. But as soon as Donald Trump was elected, they understood that he wants to bring the hostages back home. Yeah. So immediately the way they treated me changed. So if it's the amount of food, I could say this, that when Trump became president, yeah, the way they treated us changed. For me personally, this is what I
think
felt.
because they anticipated that a deal would come soon.
Yeah.
And that's when they started giving you more food.
Exactly. More food, treated me better, stopped cursing me, stopped spitting on me.
There's a lot of lessons to be learned just from that one little 1-minute clip. This is Elizabeth in Electra. You're on WBAP. Hey, Elizabeth.
Hey, afternoon. Well, I'm a Christian, born and raised Christian. Got disaffected and how I wound up practicing Islam at one point in my life. That's the story in of itself.
Wait, you're the lady that married the immigrant, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to tell you what right now, Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu, they are huge, gigantic, iconic heroes for America and Israel, whether people of the respective nations know it or not. They are huge. I love them to death. In my mind and my heart, President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu are the greatest President and Prime Minister Netanyahu that they're the greatest that America and Israel has ever had, at least in my lifetime. And I think it goes without saying, and I think anybody who is saying realizes and recognizes that when people stand up for what they believe in and they unequivocally defend things, and when people are afraid of what they say they're going to do, you should understand that these people mean business. They know what they know. They believe in what they know. They stand up for it, and they go 1,000% to do so. And it's those kind of people that I think every nation on this planet ought to be wanting for their leaders.
Well, it's
righteous people who. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that this feels like sort of the culmination of an argument we've been having since 9/11, and the fact that some people have been saying, no, we don't need to go use our military and blow people up and drone strike people. You're just creating more terrorists, and they're going to hate us and they're going to attack us more. But
I think it's been before since 9/11. I think it's been all the way at least since the hostage situation in Iran of our American soldiers. I think it's at least been that long.
You know what? That's probably a fair starting point. But the conversation has been just the polar opposite, because there's one side that's like, we need to just go flip over some tables over there and blow some people up, because that's the only thing people will respond to. You know, more primitive cultures, you know, not that we're all better, you know, because we're white supremacists or anything, but more primitive cultures tend to coalesce around strongman and shows of force. And they've demonstrated with their little internecine wars that they've been having, whether it's Iran, Iraq, or whatever the heck else has been going on. And I think the people that were trying to look nice and trying to be, you know, the more humanitarian approach to it, they were causing us just more pain and suffering in the future. And they were really just doing it to posture for other liberals to show how good and humanitarian they are.
Well, I think Prime Minister Netanyahu, he lives over there, right in the muck of it, right?
Yeah,
right?
He lost his brother in the war against. Yeah. He knows.
And he talks about that. It has to be brute force. They don't understand anything else except for brute force. Yeah. Well,
good lessons. Thank you very much, Elizabeth and Electra, calling back on the James Show. Hey, coming up next, the No Kings protest is coming to a town near you this weekend, and you're going to find out that they're really upset, and they've picked out their favorite color.
Oh, does every day just feel like fresh hell to you?
No.
Do you wonder what happened to your country,
No.
to your life, to your peace?
No.
Well, that's because you're living through an authoritarian takeover. And any sane and thoughtful person knows that's a bad thing. It's pretty obvious when your government makes the enemy anti-fascists that they are fascists. And until recently, we all agreed that fascists were bad. So what do? We act like Americans. We use our constitutional rights and we protest. We protest like America has never protested before. This is why I am partnering with No Kings, to help amplify Indivisible's work to create the biggest and most effective protest America has ever seen. As the president escalates his lawless behavior, the No Kings nonviolent movement continues to grow. Indivisible is uniting people across the country and the world to remind people that America has no king, and the power of this nation still belongs to the people. Millions of us took to the street in June, but I want tens of millions of us to do it in October. This Saturday, October 18th, we are going to reject authoritarian rule. We are going to reject the abduction of immigrants. We're going to reject the deployment of troops in our streets, the silencing of our voters, and the defying of our courts. We are going to reject the takeover of our country because America doesn't belong to the rulers or the billionaires. It belongs to us, and we're going to defend it. To make sure this event is the safest and best event possible, I want you to RSVP at the link attached or the one in my bio. I want you to film it while you're there. I want you to encourage your friends and family to come with you. And if you can, I want you to wear something yellow, because yellow has been chosen as the color of the No Kings movement. So you're encouraged to wear that color in a way that feels natural, but in a way that unites us all in a cause. These people are trying to make us afraid. They want us to feel alone, but you don't need to be afraid because you are not alone. Millions of us hate what is happening here, and we need to stand together in solidarity to say it. So click the link in my bio or where attached and let us know you're going to be joining us as we peacefully protest this violent administration. They can call us whatever they want, but we call ourselves patriotic Americans.
All right. Boy, they're really serious about that. Is every day just a fresh hell for you? No, not really. I'm a pretty happy fella. Are you tired of living in an authoritarian hellscape? I don't know. Things look pretty cool. Actually, I went to the Stars game last night. That was pretty good. Went out for lunch, had a sandwich. What are you talking about, authoritarian? They just work themselves up. They just want to be angry. What are you protesting this weekend? You protesting low inflation, closed border, Gaza peace deal? Like, what exactly is so damn bad about right now? But hey, we got a color. It's yellow, y'all. Yellow. Of all the colors, you picked the color of cowards, yellow. Interesting. I can't say anything. That's also the color for libertarians, which I think is dumb because, like, well, I guess red and blue were taken. White would probably be racist. So I'm going to leave you with some final thoughts on Trump derangement syndrome from the great comedian and friend of the show now, Rob Schneider.
Anything that Donald Trump does, good or bad, good, whatever, it's, Democrats feel they have to do the opposite. My favorite now is Democratic women being told, pregnant women, to not take Tylenol, do anything, but don't take Tylenol. And to spite him, pregnant Democratic women are taking Tylenol. I'm trying to reach out to the White House to just see if I can get President Trump to make another announcement. Whatever you do, don't men over 50 who are traveling in the greater Philadelphia area this weekend, specifically over the bridge in Collinswood with their band. Whatever you do, don't.
Yes, and Trump also says, whatever you do, don't randomly give money to radio talk show hosts. He says, whatever you do, that's the last thing on earth you should do is just give them $100 bills and cash and walk off. He never wants you to do that ever again. All right, tomorrow the James Show is going to be broadcasted live from the State Fair of Texas. I'll be outside the Old Mill Inn, just a big Texas left. So when you go in and he's like, howdy, folks, his left arm is going to be pointing kind of toward me, in that general direction. So just walk over, take a right, judge me based on my appearance, high five, we'll have a good time. I'll be there tomorrow and Friday. Stick around. Coming up next is Mark Levin. If you need more James Show action in the next 21 hours, the podcast is there. Go find it wherever you're already listening to podcasts, WBAP.com, WBAP app. Find us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all that fun stuff. And I'll see you tomorrow. I'm James Parker. This has been The James Show on News Talk 820 and 93.3 FM, WBAP.
The James Show Podcast.